Drugs. What do you guys think when you guys read this word? Just wanna, yeah, I meant that you're gonna be police officers.
Bad.
It's bad.
Two meanings. Could be good or bad.
Good or bad? Perfect. Addicted. Right. So some people think about a couple of creepy, scary dudes doing some, stuff like that. some of you guys think about like bunch of losers hanging around. Some people think like, oh my god, it's something fun, joy, happiness, party, or whatever. When I read this word, when I remember when I was a little kid, walking with my mom in the street, and then I was like 9 years old, and then this creepy guy came to me with, eyes, creepy face, and then he started talking to me. I had no clue what the hell he was saying. He was talking to me, and so obvious that he was under drug influence. And so since then, when I hear this word, I have kind of like that phobia, that scary face comes to my mind, and I really get scared. So anyways, 2 years ago, I was in a New Year's Eve party in rave. I was with my best friend, his name was Daniel. So we were like having fun, dancing together, and that night Daniel used drugs. He didn't even tell me. And after that night, he started hanging out with bad friends and using drugs every morning, every night, and he got addicted. Then my question to you guys, do you guys know anyone, family member or friends like Daniel? Alright, I'm sure and positive that every and each of one of you guys knows at least one person who had the same situation like Daniel. The reason I chose this topic because I got so disappointed when I saw a guy like Daniel, a college student, focused, became a totally different person. So, Daniel someday came to me and he was like, Garo, please, I need your help. I know you're my best friend. You're the only person who can help me. So, some of us, like in this situation, they just stop talking to that person. Like, we don't want to get involved, basically. But what I did, I put myself in risk and tried my best to help my friend because I knew that he's smart. He can avoid it. Anyway, so, but I didn't have any knowledge about drugs because I didn't have that experience before. So I started reading articles, magazines, searching online about drugs to get knowledge and help him. And one thing and one sentence I saw in common was, drug starts with experiment. They all start like people in our age. We want to be happy. We want to have fun. We want to dance, and we just want to forget our troubles. My friends are doing what I'm going to do it like. Are they better than me or something like that? So it's experiment, and then they try it again and again and again, and they get addicted. Drugs makes you a totally different person. Your personality is going to change. No one's going to talk to you. You're going to become a totally different person. Let me just give you some long-term effects of drugs: depression, memory loss, anxiety, high blood pressure, heart attacks, sexual problems for guys and girls, and psycho-depression. And Sean Jason was one of the biggest drug producers in California. And he has this saying, don't touch cocaine. I spent 2 years in jail because of this drug. I know 10 girls became prostitutes because of coke. It's much more extreme than we realize. I can see like girls' faces, prostitutes, and we don't want to do this anymore. All right, so let me give you some tips to avoid this. First and the most important thing to do is choose your friends, because friends actually play a very important role in our for creating our personality. And there's this psychologist, his name was, I think, Cole Lewis. He's saying that, show me your friends, I will show you your future. So there's a meaning after that sentence. And my mom used to tell me that friends are like water. You put water in a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put water in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Yes, and my grandpa actually used to tell me that friend is like a nasty apple full of insects, If you put the nasty apple with other bunch of apples and leave them for a while in a box, you're going to realize that all other apples became nasty, just like the first one. So actually, those like two basic examples, but it has like a lot of important meaning after if you just know what I'm talking about. And second, educate yourself, because once you go read and see the consequences of drugs, you're not going to try it, and I'm 100% positive. Why? Because you're going to see what are the consequences, what are, so you're just going to scare, you're going to freak out and start, actually, don't even give it a try. And so once you educate yourself, I need you to educate others. If you have younger brother, sister, your friends, just give them advices. Do your best to convince them to not use it, because in this case, you can help yourself and help them. If each and every one of us can convince 2 people to not use drugs, and if those 2 people go convince 4 people, 8 people, do the math, we're not going to have this problem. It's just basically just advice. Just try to convince them. It's that basic. But if you give it a try, if you want to become addicted, and your little brother, sister, or friends going to think something cool, so in this case, instead of helping them, what's going to happen? You're going to destroy yourself and destroy them. So it all depends on you. Like, if you're convinced that it's something bad, I'm sure you're not going to do it. No matter what you feel, depression or whatever, no matter who convinced you, you're not going to do it. So it all depends on you. So now I need from you guys just to help, right? So believe me, like, once you help, you'll be satisfied. Like, no, you guys don't realize how much happy I was when I got a call from Middle East. There was Daniel's mom crying on the phone. She was telling me, like, Garo, please tell me what I can do for you. You saved my son, you saved my life. Like, I was losing my son and you helped him. I was like, yeah, I just helped my friend. You don't have to do anything. So sure, you're gonna feel happy when you help someone like this. So yeah, just don't lose hope and fight against drugs. Drugs doesn't care how old you are, how young you are. It's gonna come and it's gonna destroy you. Just like cancer. Cancer doesn't care how old you are, how young you are. It's going to come and mess up everything in your body, right? If you're feeling depressed, there are a bunch of other stuff to do. You can go to the beach. You can just change your lifestyle. You can take my Snapchat. You can take selfies, and you're not going to feel depressed. Or if you're like in party or something, like you want to feel the music, or you don't have to take drugs. There are a bunch of other stuff you can do just to feel the music or feel happy. You don't have to use drugs. Just call me, I can make you happy more than any kind of drug in this world. Just, yeah. So think what I told you and please take action. I want you to go home, read articles, websites, books, and start to convince people. Like, advise, convince. And I'm going to give you guys 2 websites and 1 book you guys can read and search. So one of the most popular one is this one. And the other one is actually Harvard website. And I recommend you guys, if you guys have extra time to read this book, go ask Alice. This is an example of little girl use drugs. Now I want to hear some questions, how you guys can help yourself and help others, and I'm going to be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, because
A lot of hands, wow. Right.
well, I mean, because I've tried drugs, but I didn't get addicted, so I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because some people just have an addictive personality to anything, which could also include like sex and stuff like that. So what do you think that we should do when it's like drugs that are prescribed and people get addicted? They've even tried lowering the doses and making it generic, and they still get addicted.
I got you. Now it depends from person to person. Some people have strong will. They can like stop it whenever they want. Some people they can't. Like depends on the person, And Depends from drug to drug too. Like cocaine, you get addicted so fast. Ecstasy, you don't get addicted, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Also
this
the
one of
crack
them is
is
going to
cheaper.
your body, and the other one going to your blood. Of course, I mean, once it goes to the blood, like heroin or something, you're gonna get more addicted, obviously.
But also, like, crack is even more addictive than cocaine, and
Yes.
it's cheaper.
Yes.
So that's where it's like, it just depends too.
Depends to the person too. I agree with that. That's a very good comment because even smoking, like some people can avoid smoking after 30 years of smoking, like very fast. Some people they can't. They try and they can't. So, I mean, we all have different like personalities. Yeah, that affects you and affects the drug too.
Can I ask you a question
Yes.
on yours?
Oh,
You don't-
I told him.
Oh, you want to do this?
Yes.
That's good. You have to have permission to do that, to serve as a
Sorry.
lead advisor, if you're giving permission for your presentation, that's fine.
Sorry.
Why did you decide, you're an intelligent and a rational person, and so why did you make a decision that was something you wanted to do?
Just curiosity.
That's all? Just curiosity?
Yeah.
That, are you curious about what it's like what Drano tastes like?
I can smell it. But no.
You understand, curiosity is not a good explanation. Or some, did you know when you did it that there are people who say things like Gara was just saying?
Yeah, I do. I've seen it.
All right. Why do you discount that?
Discounted.
Oh, I know that there are people who develop a problem with drugs, who it's terrible. I know there are people who say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why?
I really did just want to see what it was like, if it was actually this big hype. And then it's just that.
Did it occur to you that you could go to jail for that?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Okay.
that's just the risk with anything.
And I'm really just kind of asking you because this is symbolic of what a lot of the opinion here is. I don't mean to
No.
camp on Kathleen, but this has always been really, really interesting to me because one of my personal guidelines for life is you don't do things that get you thrown in jail. You just don't do those things. It's not, I'll do what I want, and if it's illegal, well then, I don't care about that. I always found that a guideline, and most folks do. I don't have to know. See, that's like why I've never smoked marijuana. I don't care. At this stage of my life, I think it's worthless. That's why I said no to your speech, because it's a worthless topic. Worthless. It's meaningless. But growing up, and until recently, and still in this state, you use marijuana, you get caught with marijuana, you get legally sanctioned. At one time, you went to jail. Now, at least you get a traffic ticket or something. But that's why I know that. And this is just interesting because here you are, an intelligent, normal student, regular woman's person, and yet we make these decisions to do things that are at least risky. At least it's a risk. And I have yet to figure that out about people.
It's just satisfaction. People drink satisfaction.
Too simple.
Yes.
Be careful about simple explanations for these things. I think this is one that defies simple explanations.
Wait.
Anyway,
Oh, it was also just more of that. I think another reason is just because a lot of people are young when they try it, and they feel like as if they don't really understand
The consequences.
consequences, and they think like because they're young, they think like, oh, I'm gonna live forever. Like they're stuck in that mindset, so that they think they're able to take more chances, which end up like, yeah, it's stupid. That's what like, people do.
so.
And they're seeing like their older brothers and their high schoolers and older kids that are in school. They're doing drugs. They're fine. There's nothing going wrong with them. They don't see what it affects at the home. They don't see them avoiding their family. They don't see them trying to hide themselves from.
See, when you're young, you don't think like if you're maybe like if I gave the same speech and if you were like 19 years old, maybe you're gonna give different like opinion. I mean, just the age matters a lot. Yes.
I never taken drugs.
No. I'm saying if you were 19 years old.
I didn't take drugs when I was 19, and I didn't think this when I was 19. I didn't drink. Well, I didn't drink.
Generation.
It's law.
It's a different generation too.
I worked in a liquor store. Had access to any order. I have to admit, I didn't drink per se, but I have to admit that like once a week, I would take home one beer of a different brand because I wanted to know how they were different. I didn't want to get drunk. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want my friends. I wanted to know what this was. Couldn't do that with wine because wine was too expensive. But I learned a lot.
But isn't that the same kind of concept as like her concept, or what the reason why she wants?
Maybe it's related.
Yes.
I have like two things to say. One to yours, like me, it's complete different personalities too. Because my dad's the same exact thing. He's never didn't take his first sip of drink till he was 19, which I think was the legal age back then. My brother, same exact way, has never tried drugs. He's 21 now and has never gotten drunk. But me, on the other hand,
I'm drunk right now.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you that.
Another great way to learn more about or educate yourself is to actually go to like an AA meeting, because my boyfriend at the time was an ex-heroin addict, and I could not be in a relationship with him if he were to ever go back to doing that. Like half my friends, you learn like so much, and I think that's actually what has kept me from doing hard drugs. I mean, kind of the same when I was in high school. I was a little experimental with like the small things, but that's like, I know I will never do hard drugs because of some of the stories that like I hear, like meth. When my friends were in middle school and they took razors, they were tweaking, and they took little razors and thought they were pirates and were having a fight and cutting each other up. And like that's not what I don't want to do that. I'm good. Like some of the stories that you hear like firsthand from them is also very educates you a lot.
Yes.
So
No worries.
what did you do for your friend specifically? Like, did you just give them information?
Advices, information, and actually those kind of people, even if you don't say anything, if you just be with them, they're gonna feel actually happy, because by that time he lost everything. Like he lost his girlfriend, he lost his loved ones. No one was coming close to him. You know, it was not that bad, like crazy, but it's still like depression, feeling down always. Like doesn't want to go to work, doesn't want to study. So now I found him a job, and I'm trying to convince him to go back to school. He doesn't have the ability to memorize anymore. Stuff like analyzing math or something. And let me just be more specific. He was using called ecstasy, doing like raising a lot of ecstasy actually, 5 pills together, and his friends told me he used cocaine too, but he doesn't want to tell me. Yeah. Any other? I saw a bunch of hands there. Professor, any question?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Perfect.